All right, diving deep today into the world of Charles Vandervaat. Trying to figure out who this guy is beyond the screen. We've got some articles about his role in Outlander, his famous birthdays profile, and of course a good old-fashioned filmography. And honestly, one thing jumped out at me right away on that famous birthdays page. It says Charles is the 43,144th most popular person in the world. Like, is there a leaderboard somewhere? What does that even mean?
It's a strange metric, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how they calculate that exactly, but it does show you how many different levels of recognition there are these days, right? You've got your huge celebrities and then people like Charles who are, doing really well, building a career, getting more and more well-known, but maybe not quite household name level yet. And when you look at his journey, you can see he's really put in the work. Starting out with the Soulpepper Theater Company in Toronto, that's going to be a great foundation. I mean, that company is known for its high standards, you know?
Yeah, imagine that environment. Surrounded by dedicated artists, working on all those challenging productions. It's like a boot camp for acting talent. No wonder he made the jump to screen work so smoothly. Kind of reminds me of actors like Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston, but they came from a theater background too. And you could just see that depth in their performances. Plus this guy, Charles. I mean, he's like a walking, talking Swiss Army knife of talent. Fluent French from immersion school, athletic as all get out, hockey, basketball, swimming, even triathlons. Oh, and did I mention he plays piano and guitar too?
It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? It makes you wonder if there's anything he can't do. And I bet that versatility is a big part of his appeal as an actor. Like, he's got all these tools in his belt he can use to build a character. And when you check out his filmography, it's clear.
Absolutely. I mean, look at his role as Larry Stanley in the Stanley Dynamic. Acting alongside an animated character. Talk about a challenge. You're not just remembering lines, you're reacting to thin air. Building chemistry with something that's not even there. It's like those actors doing motion capture for those big CGI movies. So much depends on your imagination and physicality. I mean, that takes a whole other skill set. And from what I've seen, Charles nailed it.
It definitely shows how adaptable he is, how he can think outside the box and make it work. Those are pretty essential skills for any actor. And hey, if anyone out there is interested in voice acting, his co-star on that project, Taylor Abrahams, he's worth checking out. He's been doing it forever. But of course, gotta talk about his role as William Ransom in Outlander. It's a major character in a hugely popular show. It's brought him a whole new level of recognition. I'm sure landing that was a big moment for his career.
Yeah, it's a really meaty role too. So much depth and complexity. Just think about it. The secret son of a major character. All those family secrets and dramas to navigate, and trying to figure out who you are in the midst of all that. Talk about fertile ground for an actor, and Charles seems to be absolutely relishing it. And then to see him in something like Holly Hobbie, talk about range. From a historical drama like Outlander to a family-friendly series like that.
Yeah, not every actor can pull that off convincingly. It really shows how comfortable he is in different genres, how he can inhabit all these different characters. It's like he's always pushing himself to try new things.
And it looks like a lot of the articles are focusing on this Outlander role, going to detail about how he approaches playing William. Especially that whole balancing act of inheriting traits from both his fathers while still carving out his own identity. It's a testament to Charles's talent that he can bring that kind of nuance to the role. He's not just playing a part, he's living it.
Yeah, you can tell he takes his craft seriously, really thinks about the character and what makes them tick.
And honestly, it's kind of a reflection of all our journeys, isn't it? We're all shaped by our upbringing, our families, the things we go through. Ultimately, we have to figure out who we are, where we fit in, what mark we want to leave on the world. It's like Charles is playing out that universal story on screen. And that's what makes it so relatable and so compelling to watch. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Charles Vandervaat's world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. It really helps other people find the show too.
Yeah, it's amazing how actors can take these big universal experiences and make them feel so real on screen. You know, they become these channels for our own feelings, our own struggles. They help us see ourselves in a new light. And with Charles playing William in Outlander, these articles really show how much work he's put into understanding the character's inner conflict. Imagine dealing with the legacy of two fathers, right? One who raised you, and another who you share a bloodline with but never really knew.
It's got to be a constant push and pull inside him. I read one article where Charles talked about how he actually studied Jamie Fraser's mannerisms, looking for subtle ways to work them into William's behavior, almost like he's trying to honor that biological connection, even though William himself might not even be fully aware of it, like some subconscious pull toward his heritage. It really makes you think about that whole nature versus nurture debate, you know? how much of who we are is predetermined by our genes, and how much is shaped by our environment.
Yeah, that's a question that's been around forever, hasn't it? Philosophers, scientists, everyone's weighed in. And Charles's performance as William brings it to life in such an interesting way. He's not just copying Jamie, he's weaving those inherited traits into William's personality, creating a character who is both familiar and unique. It's a tough balancing act.
It's not just Jamie's influence he's dealing with, right?
Yeah.
William was raised by Lord John Grey,
Yeah.
a man of, well, refinement and composure, let's say. I'm sure Charles had to think about how those qualities would rubbed off on William, too.
Oh, absolutely. Charles actually talks about trying to convey that same sense of refinement and composure, the kind of qualities Lord John embodies. But what's interesting is he's really insistent that William has his own distinct identity. He's not just some combination of his two fathers.
It's like he's taking all these different ingredients, the inherited traits, the upbringing, all the experiences Williams had, and he's creating something completely new, a fully realized person with his own desires and flaws and ambitions. It's almost like what a chef does, right? They combine different flavors and textures to create a unique culinary experience. Each ingredient contributes to the overall dish, but the final result is something totally different.
That's a great analogy. And just like a chef needs skill and creativity to blend those flavors, Charles uses his talent and insight to create a believable, multi-dimensional character.
And you get the sense that that same dedication goes beyond his acting. We talked about his love for fitness training and rock climbing, and it makes me think those activities actually play a role in his ability to bring characters like William to life.
Yeah, when you think about the physicality of a role like that, the sword fighting, the horseback riding, all the stamina it takes to film those action-packed scenes, it demands a certain level of fitness and athleticism for sure.
But it's not just physical, is it? There's a mental toughness that comes with pushing yourself in activities like rock climbing. That resilience and determination have to spill over into other areas of life, including acting.
It's like he's training his mind and body to overcome obstacles, both in his personal life and on screen. And when you think about the challenges William faces in Outlander, that mental fortitude becomes even more important.
It's fascinating how all these seemingly unrelated parts of Charles's life, his fitness, his travels, even that Instagram post about his budgie, they all contribute to a richer understanding of who he is as a person. It reminds us that actors aren't just characters we see on screen. They're complex individuals with their own unique stories and experiences.
And those stories and experiences are what they bring to their performances, adding layers of depth and authenticity to their work.
Speaking of stories, I'm curious how his travels to places like Australia and England, how those experiences might have influenced him as an actor. Immersing yourself in different cultures and perspectives has got to broaden your horizons, right?
Absolutely. Travel can be incredibly enriching. You're exposed to new ideas, new ways of life, new forms of art and expression. It adds so much to your understanding of what it means to be human.
Imagine him exploring historical sites in England, for example, really soaking up the atmosphere of those places. Wouldn't that inform his performance in a historical drama like Outlander? It's like he's drawing from a well of real-life experiences to breathe life into those characters and stories.
For sure, and those experiences probably help him connect with audiences from all over the world. It's that sense of shared humanity that goes beyond cultural boundaries.
It's like he's building bridges through his work,
Yeah.
inviting us to see the world from different points of view.
And who knows, maybe those travel experiences will inspire him to take on roles that explore different cultures and historical periods. There are so many possibilities.
The possibilities are endless. And with Charles's talent, his dedication, his willingness to embrace new challenges, I have a feeling this is just the beginning for him.
I have no doubt he's got a long and exciting career ahead of him. He's already proven he's a versatile and engaging actor, and his commitment to personal growth suggests he'll keep pushing boundaries and surprising audiences.
And hey, if you're digging this deep dive with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We love hearing from you, and it really helps other folks discover the show.
Yeah, it's amazing how travel can totally change how you see things. I remember when I went backpacking through Southeast Asia a few years back. It was like a whole different world, really eye-opening, made me realize how much I take for granted and just how much is out there, beyond my own little bubble. It's like they say, the world is a book and those who don't travel only read one page. It's so true. Travel can be such a powerful experience for personal growth. It pushes you outside your comfort zone, forces you to adapt, helps you see things from new perspectives, and for someone like Charles, who's all about storytelling, Those experiences have got to be so valuable.
Yeah, like he's collecting all these little pieces of inspiration from all over the world
Yep.
and weaving them into his craft. But speaking of weaving, I got to talk about his passion for fitness and rock climbing. It's not just a hobby for him, it's like a whole way of life.
Yeah.
You know, it shows his dedication and discipline. I'm always in awe of people who push themselves physically like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a mental toughness that comes with those activities. You have to face your fears, manage risk, push through challenges. You're constantly testing your limits and finding new strength within yourself.
And those are qualities that can help you in any field, really, but especially in acting, which can be so demanding, so much rejection, so much uncertainty. You need that resilience to keep going, to believe in yourself even when others might doubt you.
Right, and think about the physical demands of some of his roles, like William in Outlander. All that sword fighting, horseback riding, the stunts, it takes a serious level of fitness and coordination.
Yeah, there's this photo on his Instagram of him scaling this crazy rock face. He looks so focused, so determined. You can practically feel the energy coming off him. Honestly, it's kind of inspiring. It makes me want to get out there and do something adventurous myself.
That's the power of passion, right?
Yeah.
It inspires those around you to chase their own dreams, to push their own boundaries.
It's like a spark that ignites something within you. And you know what else strikes me about Charles? He seems to have this really nice balance between ambition and, just being a grounded person. Like, he's obviously driven, but he also appreciates the simpler things in life. Spending time with family, being in nature. Even that post about his budgie passing away, it showed a real depth of feeling.
Yeah, you can feel that emotional depth and sensitivity in his work too. It brings authenticity and vulnerability to his characters, makes them more relatable and endearing.
And at the end of the day, isn't that what makes a truly great actor? That ability to connect with the audience on a human level, to make us feel something, to make us think.
Absolutely. It's about going beyond the screen and touching the hearts and minds of the people watching. And Charles seems to have that gift.
Well, here we are, wrapping up our deep dive into the world of Charles Vandervaat. We've traced his path from stage to screen, explored his many talents, and even peeked into his passions and outlook on life. It's been a fascinating journey with a young actor who's clearly going places, with his talent, his dedication, his genuine spirit. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more of Charles Vandervaat in the years to come.
I have no doubt about it. He's one to keep an eye on, that's for sure. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys, and it helps others find the show too.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world around you.